My name is Melissa Zook. I'm 33 years old and I'm a travel nurse. Right now, I'm living in a 1972 Shasta trailer in Phoenix, Arizona, on an urban farm. I decided to live in this kind of space because I wanted to experience tiny life. I wanted to live small and know that I could do that and get rid of all of my possessions and live with very little, even though most days it doesn't feel like I'm living with very little. So I'm not the only person doing this. I know a handful of nurses who are actually living out of their vehicles. I actually have a friend and colleague at my current job, David, who's living out of his truck camper that he built himself. Well, David and I worked together in the PACU, and on one particular day when I went to visit him, he was actually having the hardest, he was having a hard day, and I don't often see him stressed out. He's a he's a wonderful human. He's one of those coworkers who's always upbeat. He's always early. He's always like doing extra things for his coworkers. He brings in cookies that he cooks in his camper on his lunch break. During COVID, it's actually been really nice to have this space to myself. Um, I'm not in anyone else's apartment. I'm not going around from Airbnb to hotel to house like a lot of my colleagues are. The farm I live on is called PLS Farm. It stands for Peace, Love, and Sustainability. The farm itself is all agriculture. There were no animals until about a month ago when we got chickens. It's all citrus, stone fruit, olives, nuts, and then there are two gardens that we eat from. A fair amount of my groceries and my food supply come from our vegetable garden. We have eggplant that's growing, different squashes, a bunch of different greens. I've really narrowed down the number of things I use in the kitchen. I went from a New York kitchen, which arguably is not much bigger than this one, um, with just cabinets and cabinets full of, blenders and utensils and all kinds of cooking pots and pans and just like amazing things, espresso machines, to now I have one pan, one pot, one tiny little pan for the oven, and a handful of utensils, and that's it. I had a picture of my mom up on the wall because she passed away a few years ago. It's been almost 3 years. I think it's nice to remember your roots, especially when you're moving around this much. It's nice to have a quick reminder of family and how we got to where we are. Because even if I wasn't close with my mom or really either of my parents, they still made me what I am to some extent. It is a very big life in a little space. I feel like my life has gotten so much bigger since I started living small.